Come one, come all, spontaneous views. I'm gonna do a video today on young Scooter, the unfortunate death of young Scooter. A lot of people don't know, young Scooter. I think my younger brother really knew him. Young Scooter is actually from Walterboro, South Carolina. I actually grew up in Walterboro, South Carolina. I graduated. I'm about to show my age, but I graduated in '95 in Walterboro High School. That's when it was Walterboro Bulldogs. Now it's the Walterboro Cougars. But anyway, I'm not really. I'm really gonna deal with the 911 call and the woman that made the call. I felt that this was a touching subject because, like I said, my younger brother, he just celebrated his 40th birthday in young Scooter. I think his name is Kenneth Edward Rashard Bailey. That's his full name, from Walterboro, South Carolina. And my brother knew him. I think what happened, if I'm not mistaken, I think young Scooter actually left Walterboro, I think like around middle school, and he moved here to Atlanta. And that's when he started pursuing his music career, got with Future, and that's how the story goes. I really want to just deal with the tragic events that happened with this. Kind of vague. When I first heard the 911 call, I knew something wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to dive into this 911 call. We're going to see, and then we're going to get into the woman that actually made the call. And we're still trying to piece this together because they're telling us that he died due to, I guess, breaking his fibula in his leg, and it hit an artery and it bled out, and once again a mysterious death. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace to young Scooter. But let's get into this 911 call. This is shout out to this is KB Goes Live. I got this video from my YouTubers. I just go over these videos and I kind of pick it up. I dissect them. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Got a real quick little update for you guys in this young Scooter situation, right? The other day I made a video about him. He died on his 39th birthday while he was trying to flee the police after somebody called the police saying that they heard and seen a woman being drugged back into a residence that he was at. This prompted the police to show up. However, when they got there, young Scooter took off running, ended up having some kind of injury to his leg that ultimately costed him his life. But interestingly enough, the police found no evidence of anything that was mentioned during the 911 call. The news reports initially reported that somebody said they heard shots fired. Like I said, they said they seen a woman being drugged back into the house. When everything was said and done and the police were investigating, they found evidence of none of this, which led a bunch of people to question who called the police and why did they call the police, right? Now, I don't have the answer to who or why they called, but what I do have is a copy of the 911 call itself, where we can hear everything that was actually reported. Now, before I play the call, yesterday this lady, Chestine Washington, made right, and this phone.
Been in a car accident? Here's exactly how to get every dollar you're owed.
When I skip a video ahead, if you've been in a car
phone call, kind of seems to back up what this woman right here was saying. Now, I don't know again who the woman is, what her reason for actually calling was, but
the transfer. 1 second, ma'am, for 273 William Nye Drive, Southeast. 273 William Nye? Yeah.
No, it's 273 William. Oh, you said Nye, NYE, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you to Cab. Hello, caller. You're welcome.
Hi.
Do you need police, fire, or EMS?
Actually, both, if you consider both. There was literally a shooting. The house, literally the neighbors next door, the house of the address that I just gave you, the 273.
Nobody reported a shooting.
A whole domestic dispute going on. There's like 7 guys that live in this house. And
What's your name?
I'm sorry, what is my name?
Okay. Okay. Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, so I'm the neighborhood watch, and basically like I said, these guys they're like selling drugs in and out of the house. All you see is guys coming in and out of the house with guns and stuff. They hold the guns and
Okay, pause it right there. That's already a dead giveaway when I first heard this 911 call, because for one, how do you know how much people is in the house? That was a red flag. Then she stated, oh, they're selling drugs in and out the house. They got guns. If you're reporting domestic violence, I understand you want to be as detailed as possible, but those details prompted me to like say, no, you're snitching. You're trying to get somebody implicated in something, because if you're just calling 911 and you're saying, hey, I want to report a domestic violence, I'm not going to go into what they're doing in the house, like talk about guns. At the end of the day, I'm supposedly you're witnessing someone getting beat. At least that's what I thought. Let's carry on.
And then it's like, I'm not sure if they're pimping, but it's like the situation that's going on right now. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl. He literally fought the girl. I'm not sure what they was fighting over. If they was fighting over drugs, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like they were fighting over drugs. And then they started shooting. She had someone come over there, and they started shooting.
But keep in mind, when the police got there, they didn't find any drugs. They didn't find anything. That's why we're trying to figure out why the scooter even run. That's the $1 million question right now. I'm pretty sure people knew what's going on. I mean, obviously something, but I can tell just from her 911 call, like she was definitely lying and trying to implicate a situation that probably didn't have to go the way it did.
The house needs to be investigated. They're definitely doing illegal stuff over there, and it's disturbing the area.
Fire.
Your neighborhood
I would say
watch.
3. It was 3 shots.
When did it happen?
It's happening now.
Okay.
She said 3 shots. She done been on the phone for at least 2.5 minutes. So
So
why
I
no,
believe
you
the
ain't
girl
hear
is
no
hurt.
shots?
And you're coming from 273 William Nye Drive?
Yes, and the girl is hurt because she was like bleeding profusely, like blood everywhere.
Okay.
So hold up, were you over there to see that? Because I'm assuming that this had to happen that night, because we found out that morning what happened to young Scooter. So this had to happen in the nighttime, I'm assuming. So how were you able to see all of this from your perspective? That was another thing, another red flag. You had too much detail for you not to be there, for you to say she was bleeding profusely. How were you able to see all of that? And you're just making a 911 call. This is irritating listening to this.
Do you see or hear anything else?
Yeah, she's trying to get away, and they're holding her. She's being held hostage. Like she's trying to. They brought her. The guy that was fighting her, she ran outside naked, and then he was fighting her outside. And then there was another commotion. She tried to get away. He dragged her back in the house. So now they're at the door, literally fighting. She's trying to get out, and he's refusing to let her out. And it's like 7 guys in the house.
So she was outside. Okay, she was outside, made it outside, but I guess he ran after her, drug her back in, and was refusing to let her go. But if he was refusing to let you go in that time, how did you get out the house to begin with? Like, did you just go to the bathroom? Did the dude go to the bathroom and then came back and said, nah, I need to go get this chick? Like, I mean, just listening to it, you're like, whoa, something is weird. But you're still at awe and shock of what happened to Scooter.
Okay.
Think your taxes are simple? You could file for free with H&R Block. More people qualify for H&R Block.
Let's go. I hate these ads.
Give me one moment.
This is irritating, though, listening to this. Because she has too much detail for her to
There's
not be
also
there.
a child in danger as well because she has a baby.
And when now it's a child in place. Man, it seemed like you would have let off with that.
Okay, you said the female is naked?
Yeah, she's naked and she's bleeding profusely from her head.
Okay. Can you give me a description of the male?
The male is like has like a caramel complexion, low haircut.
Is he black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
He's black and he drives.
What color shirt and pants do he have on?
Regular blue jeans and like a regular like t-shirt. I'm not sure. I didn't really get Okay, I'm not sure if it was blue or black.
Okay, dark t-shirt. And what about the female?
She's light skinned and she has black hair. She's probably about 5'3", 130 pounds.
What? Boom, okay. She was on point with that. 5'3", 130. Like, usually you'll be like,
she's naked.
She's describing herself.
Give me one moment. Let me get EMS on the line.
Okay.
EMS, what's the address of the emergency?
Hey, Grady, it's Atlanta with a transfer to callers that was in 273 William Nye Drive, Southeast. Let me give you a little bit about what's going on at this location. There's a male at the location that's fighting a female. She is naked. A shooting, shots were fired. About 3 shots were fired.
But notice no one else reported shots fired.
273 William Nye, NYE Drive, Southeast.
Usually 911, they get dispatched and they hear certain dispatch reports. There was no other report of a shooting at that location, because if so, when she transferred the call, she would have stated that. She didn't. She said what the lady told her, this 911 caller, the person that called 911, this girl that we about to get into. She the one that initiated saying that, hey, there was a shooting. But again, where was it reported? Why wasn't it reported outside of just you? Come on, man. This is weird. Even the police captain, I should have had that video where he actually stated there was no, I should have had that video up now that I think about it. But I'm about to finish this up.
Oh, okay. Tell me exactly what happened.
I gotta call her and let her know what happened.
Hello.
Well, before I get into that, is this a business house or an apartment?
This is a house, and I think you guys should get here quick because this girl he's really hitting her, and it's a child involved.
How do you know that?
There's like 7 guys in the house, and they all have guns.
I thought you said that he dragged her back in the house. So how did you know that he was still beating her? I can't believe she obviously wasn't in her right mind when she made this call, because I think once people understood and probably was listening to this, they was like, not only did they recognize her voice, just her testimony of what she's saying is really not making any sense, man. This is like I said, it's irritating.
You guys need to hurry and get here before she doesn't make it.
Man, we already have help organized for her. What's the phone number you're calling from? Exactly what happened?
There's a situation going on in this house. There's 7 guys that live here, and they're basically, I'm not sure if they're running some type of sex traffic. This individual, she's a 5'2", light-skinned female, black hair. She ran outside naked, bleeding from her face. She tried to get away. She was dragged back into the house, and they're holding her hostage, and then there was a baby involved. So this situation is really serious, and he's punching her. If you guys don't get her, she's going to be really hurt.
Atlanta, what's your operator number?
8715.
And you already have PD en route?
PD has been notified and it's being started.
Okay, stand by for
What's
fire.
Your operator? You on fire?
Real quick, the reason why I'm upset is because a young man lost his life because this is my thing. This wasn't your first time at this house. So obviously a disagreement occurred that escalated to the point to where you now felt the need to call 911. The problem with this is that the person that's deceased, from what we're hearing, didn't have anything to do with the situation. That's what makes this tough. And I never knew him personally, but I just knew, when my brother was saying he was talking about it, I knew he used to always talk about Scooter. And it's just, he's not here. And when we look back at this, it really didn't have nothing to do with him. Like,
stand by. I'm not sure.
I'm about to get into her.
Okay.
Are you, ma'am, are you in the station now?
In a minute.
No, I'm a neighborhood watch. I'm just literally a neighborhood watch. I'm not in the house.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay, no problem. About how old do you think she is?
She has to be about maybe, she looks a little underage, but I don't want to say that. You know, looks could be deceiving. So she's roughly, I'll say let's just say between 18 and 21.
That's just not how we describe. If you're in a panic and you want someone to come.
He's beating her bloody. He's beating her bloody. He's dragged her back in the house.
Is she breathing?
Ma'am, he dragged her back in the house.
Okay, I understand that.
So how do you know that
you're not able to see what exactly is going on now.
Can't see
just answer the questions to the best of your ability.
Okay.
Were any weapons involved?
Everyone in the house has weapons.
How did you know that?
7 guys that live there. They're roommates or something like that. I don't know if all 7 live there, but it's typically about the same amount that comes that's there every day.
I hope it's like an 8-bedroom or something.
Okay. Is there any serious bleeding?
She's bleeding from her face, like the whole.
Again, how do you know this?
Face, she's bleeding profusely. And then
how do you know this? How do you know that she's
bleeding? Okay, is she responding
from the
normally?
Are you serious, ma'am?
Yes, I'm serious. I need to know for the paramedics if she's completely alert.
Right.
How can I assess if she is alert if I just told her they dragged her back in the house?
But how do you know she's bleeding?
To the best of your ability.
She was breathing when she was outside trying to get away.
Hello, caller. If you don't know, you can just say unknown.
Right.
Okay.
Because you're making yourself look stupid.
Is she having any difficulty breathing?
I don't know.
Thank you for that. Atlanta is not requesting for fire to go out there.
Okay, we do have PD started to this location. 2 officers are en route.
I'm clear on 2 officers en route. Thank you.
All right, Atlanta is disconnecting. All right, thank you, caller.
Okay, ma'am, I'm sending the paramedics to help.
All right. We're going to get into the woman that actually admitted to doing this. I hope they say her name. I'm going to go back if they don't repeat her name. I'm just going to just put all this in one and conclude after this. I'm really upset about this, but this is the woman. I got a video stating about the woman admitting to the 911 who she was and why she did it.
Real suspicious, and apparently she's got a real distinct voice. There were a lot of people who pretty much as soon as they heard that 911 call apparently knew that it was this Demi Blanco chick. Right? I had no idea, but you had guys like this dude right here making videos like this one.
Listen to this guy.
It just hit me. I just recognized who voice that is calling the motherfucker police on Young Scooter. It's this whole Demi. Her name on Instagram is @Demi Blanco. Y'all go, hey man, this the man, her name Demi. She the one pretending to be the neighborhood watch. This hoe ain't no neighborhood watch. This neighborhood ain't even got no neighborhood watch.
Right.
Man, y'all, find this reporter.
Yeah, so it did not take people long to identify who she was. She is no longer anonymous, and she knows that she's no longer anonymous. She went over on Instagram. She posted this right here up where she said, "I'm going live to tell the truth at 1 p.m." Right, that was just a couple hours ago, and she did go live, and she did respond to all of this, and I'll go ahead and play you guys what she said.
There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only had part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself. That's the issue. That's part A.
Hey. Did you know you might get a big cash payout if you were in a car
accident last
year?
But
even if you weren't.
Like I was saying before, this is not your first time at this house. So I'm just assuming something happened in that moment for you to call. My thing is, we don't know if you were beat. That's the problem now because you already lied. So were you beat to the point to where you had to call 911? I think that's where I'm at with it.
I never had any intentions to get anybody hurt. I was the one that was getting hurt. And I came here to say my truth. That's it, that's all. I don't want no clout. I don't want anything. All these troll pages, y'all don't know me. None of y'all know me at all. At the end of the day, I'm a woman, and I was physically abused multiple times.
Okay, so there is a lot going on right there in that live that she just did. First off, in the live, she claims that she was actually the girl that was being abused. Remember, the police said when they came out, it was because they got a call. A woman said that she seen somebody else who possibly could be underage, but might be 18 to 21 years old, being beat up. That's what she said when she was on the phone. Now, in this live, she's saying, actually, I was the person that was getting beat up and abused. And I know that she's trying to clear her name with this live right here, but if you ask me, this didn't do anything to help her further because the details just don't add up. When you go listen to that 911 phone call, it's clear that there was a malicious intent behind her placing that phone call.
What was the purpose of you calling?
Not only Young Scooter, but everybody that was in the house with Young Scooter of committing crimes, pretty much every crime that you can name. She said pimping, dealing. She said there was guns,
trafficking.
There was women, there was children, there was, according to her, everything that is bad was happening in
you were
that
trying
house,
to implicate
And I'm
somebody.
not saying that she wasn't getting abused. I don't know. I wasn't there. But it doesn't do anything to help her when details, like on the call, it was I seen a woman getting beat up, to where on this live, it was I was actually the person getting beat up, right? When you have
how can we believe anything
like
you
that
say
right
now?
there that happened, it doesn't help to clear your name. If anything, it just adds more clouds to the situation and makes the situation that much more muddier. She claims that her intention wasn't to get Young Scooter hurt, but when you listen to that phone call, man, she was trying to alert them police to him. She wanted them to show up aggressively. That's why she claimed the things that she claimed. You know, I'm not saying Scooter was innocent in this. I'm just saying the situation looks and sounds crazy, especially when you go listen to the 911 call that was placed. Now, she didn't add any clarification about what happened to Young Scooter. We still got confusion about that because Young Thug is saying that he got shot. Young Thug didn't say he got shot by the police, but he said that the autopsy said he got shot by...
Now, I'm going to pause and I'm going to conclude with this video, and I'm about to just say this. The Young Thug part, about him saying that he was shot. I always say the first initial report that you hear is usually the right one because the narrative is going to change eventually. That's what happens. There's a narrative that changes, and that's why you have all these different stories when it comes to these things. The first initial report that came out said that he was shot. Then, of course, like I said, I wish I had that officer that came out, but did the press conference basically saying that there were no shots fired and so forth and so on. But we're still trying to figure out how did he lose his life just from climbing a fence and supposedly breaking his leg and no longer here. Like, that's just, I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying it can't happen, but again, it's one of these mysterious, spooky little situations that happen. I'm about to conclude this.
Somebody, right? We got the police saying nobody got shot, so we still got confusion on that front. We got confusion on this front. And all I know is that last night the police said that they were looking to identify her. I don't know what comes next for her from here going forward. I don't know if they're looking for her just to get more details from her. I don't know if they're looking for her because they feel like that 911 call was malicious. She said...
In other news, Georgia...
Well, I'm going to conclude with this. At the end of the day, a young man lost his life. He was 39 years old. You know what I'm saying? Still had a positive career going for himself. And now he's no longer here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to, he was a Borough City brother. Borough City, that's Walterboro. Like I said, I know people after it happened that was posting from Walterboro, some of my family that's, you know, there that posted him and was saying, like, even though he was Atlanta, he was from Atlanta, he was in Atlanta and he was dealing with Future, you know what I'm saying? Young Scooter was the Borough City. He was Walterboro. He was from the hood, you know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate. Let me get past this ad and I'm
Residents are going to be happy to hear this. It just came out. There's a new website where...
situation, man.
she was part of the neighborhood watch. The clip we watched from the dude earlier said, I don't know what she talking about. Ain't no damn neighborhood watch out here.
Right.
So she was clearly lying about some things in that phone
Neighborhood
call.
watch. That
and
was
they
a
want to
lie.
talk to her about giving, a false report to the police about what she said she seen. Because again, she contradicted herself. She said that she seen somebody getting beat up. Now she's saying that she was the one getting beat up. And the police probably want to know what all of that is about.
And the fact that you said that,
questions that she needs to answer for sure. There's still a lot of unknowns in regards to this case. I'm sure, like I've said in the last couple of videos, as time goes on, we're going to find out more and more and more details. I'm still waiting on the autopsy report to drop. It might take it some time. I'm still waiting on the body cam to be released. I'm sure that it's going to pop up on YouTube on numerous channels at some point. I can imagine that there is already FOIA requests being put in by the dozen at the Atlanta Police Department for that footage, because everybody wants to know what happened to this dude. Everybody wants to know why it happened to this dude. Was it his fault? Was it just an act of dumbness? Is there a bigger cover-up happening in regards to this chick? What's she lying about? What is she telling the truth about? It's hard to
And the thing about it, just to conclude, people be talking about, sacrifices and stuff like that. The thing about this one, it was so random, you don't even know if it was or not. Another thing is, we don't really know what type of time the police was on when they came to the house, because you have to understand what the lady said in the 911 call. So by them having that description of what's going on, they probably came out with their tools out. You never know, especially when somebody running, you don't know. They said shots were fired, but there was no reported shots fired. So, I mean, what's going on, man? What's going on, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, young Scooter, man. This is a tragic, you know what I'm saying, situation, man. This video about to finish
between
out.
the two at this point. It's just a lot of unknowns that we're going to have to wait and see how it all pans out. But at this moment, that's what we got. The girl's name is Demi Blanco. She's the one that called the police. She said that she has a valid reason to call the police. She claims she was the one getting beat up. If she's telling the truth, if she's not telling the truth, that really is not up.
And just to conclude, if she was getting beat, may God bless her. It's unfortunate that was happening, but unfortunately, you have too many lies in this situation, and we don't know what really happened. So I'm not saying I don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? I don't condone any of that type of violence to a woman at all. Anyone, for that matter. But again, there's just so many holes in the situation, we really just don't know. I'm about to conclude this, though, but RIP Young Scooter. Come one, come all.